Our top story, a humanitarian catastrophe is unfolding in Gaza. Months of war has brought the besieged Strip on the verge of hunger and desperation. Despite efforts by multiple negotiators, including the United States, Qatar, Egypt, peace remains elusive. And on the ground, the picture is grim. Along with the rising death toll, there are now mounting concerns of the risk of famine and the spread of infectious diseases.
Here we are at the end of February with at least 576,000 people in Gaza, 1/4 of the population, one step away from famine, with 1 in 6 children under 2 years of age in northern Gaza suffering from acute malnutrition and wasting.
The situation in the besieged Strip, particularly in northern Gaza, has reached a tipping point. The World Food Programme has warned of imminent famine and the inevitable spread of starvation in Gaza. The global body says no humanitarian group has been able to deliver aid to the north for more than a month. With most aid blocked from entering the Strip, there are many who have been surviving on bare minimum for days. Scuffles over essentials, queues for food and water have become a norm.
As you can see, getting food, water and medicine is an extreme challenge. To get medicine, I have embarked on a very long walk, a quest for sustenance. Accessing medicine and essentials of life has become exceedingly difficult.
It has come to the point that children can be seen roaming around with empty pots in search of something to eat. Most aid trucks have been halted at the Rafah border. However, Israel maintains that it has not been blocking aid, although foreign militaries have airdropped supplies, including on Tuesday over Rafah and Gaza's main southern city of Khan Yunis. It has not been enough. Ahead of the threat of a possible invasion of Rafah, several airstrikes hit the southern cities of Khan Yunis and Rafah, as well as central Gaza.
We queue up for water and bread. We queue up for everything. What do? I have children who need diapers, and the cost for each child is 30 shekels per day. If they want to enter Rafah, welcome. Come to whatever remains.
And we're now being joined by Ishan Garka from Brussels for the very latest on this. And Ishan, well, how much aid is enough aid for Gaza given the dire circumstances, and what sort of negotiations can the UN pull with Israel going forward?
Well, it's a question of how much aid is enough aid. UN has a number in the ballpark of $500 million. That's roughly how much amount of money would be required to actually make sure that the aid is adequate for the people who are there. As we pointed out earlier in the story, 576,000 people, that's roughly 500,000 people, are at abject risk of facing famine. But the remaining 1.5 million people in Palestinian enclaves, they are not much better either, with the United Nations warning that they are actually very close to famine and they are facing acute shortage of food. But apart from the question of how much money is necessary, it's also a question of how does this aid get to those people, because as we have seen in the past few days, allegations have been leveled against Israel for not allowing the aid into Palestinian territories, and Israel has said that these are baseless allegations. There is no cap on how much aid can be allowed. So at this point, it's both a question of how does money get to those people, and through what means can the trucks still go inside those Palestinian territories, because UN food agencies have warned that in the past 1 month there has been a 90% reduction in the amount of aid that's been coming into Palestinian territories. So it's become a huge problem in terms of how UN can pull different countries together. It is reaching out to various international agencies and asking them for further aid.
Right, Ishan, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest on what the UN is asking for as far as aid going into Gaza is concerned. Clearly, of course, as the UN says, Gaza is on the brink of famine. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.